Now, there are some things though that we can legislate that are potentially moral issues, and there's one that you're really passionate about right now, and it's women or men being in women's sports. That's been something right now that's been a hot debate, which the fact that it's even a debate shows you where we're at. But like that's something you're very passionate about. You're putting bills trying to protect, women, young girls from terrible situations. I'd love you to talk about what you're doing in that movement.
Yeah, so I've with several other dads in the state house, we've introduced the Dads Defending Daughters Act, which is House Bill 1849, basically reserving girls' sports to biological girls and reserving boys' sports to biological boys.
Mm.
It's very common sense. In fact, there was a New York Times Ipsos poll that showed 79% support for this very ideal. I was a Division I athlete. I have a 7-year-old daughter. It's also personal to me. Now, the history of this initiative, Dillon, is we have a couple of bills that would achieve this end in the House and the Senate. I sit on the House Education Committee. There's actually a mechanism called a discharge resolution. So Senate Bill 9, which was the Save Women's Sports Act, passed bipartisan support in the
Mm.
Senate, came over to the House. It sat in the House Education Committee. Actually, the majority chairman said he would not consider it. So within our House rules, if 15 session days ticks by and the bill has yet to be considered, we can collect 25 signatures, either party, in this discharge resolution, which in effect fast forwards it to the House for full consideration. What the Democrats did was they have 24 hours to react to that resolution. And before that time had expired, they re-referred the bill out of education to the Health Committee, which is not an applicable committee for an interscholastic bill. And the shot clock essentially started over. So that was a procedural trick. In my opinion, it was cowardly. Look, if you in principle disagree with that, put up the vote. Show your
Yep.
constituents that you'll either stand behind their daughters and granddaughters and nieces, or if you have an ideological issue with that, fine, vote against it. But instead of putting up a vote, they're pulling these parlor tricks, and it's currently in the Health Committee. But with the Dads Defending Daughters Act, that was interestingly referred to education. So
Hmm.
we're counting down the days, and we plan on a discharge resolution, and we'll do anything we can to bring it up for consideration.
So, have you been able to have like one-on-one conversations with the Democrats that are voting against this, or like trying not to let it hit? Like, what are they saying? Like, why aren't they? Well, like this should be such common sense that we do not want men changing in front of our daughters. We don't want our daughters forced to be in a locker room with a dude. Like, it should be very common. Like, it's not hard. I don't want my daughter hurt with a dude spiking a volleyball 3 times faster than the average girl, right? Like, what are these people saying when you're talking to them on why they want to prove this?
So many Democrats in secret support the bill, support the initiative. The problem is the politics that go behind that vote and the lobby or the activists that are entrenched in the national Democrat Party that for whatever reason oppose it and want to keep this charade continuing. That's very frustrating. I know several of the Democrats on the House Education Committee who have daughters who were athletes. It's very difficult for me, for them in unison to vote to re-refer that bill.
And none of them have the backbone to just vote.
Apparently not. You know, I tried to put myself in their shoes. If our leadership in the House wouldn't be on this issue, obviously, but another issue, if I had such a strong conviction and they said, "Hey, I need you to vote to re-refer this," I would say, absolutely not. And I don't care the cost. I don't care the repercussions. I'm not here. My boss isn't the House Republican leadership. It's the
It's the people.
65,000 people who sent me
Yeah.
here. So that's not how I operate. I think you see more of that groupthink,
Hmm.
stuff from that side of the aisle.
How do you deal with the, again, back to the word emotions, but, like, for me, I'd get so frustrated. I don't think I'd be in politics because I would just I mean, I like to think that I would be able to control myself, but, like, especially if I had relationships with these people, like, I would just be calling them, being like, "Bro, what are you doing?" I mean, does that happen? And, like, do you have that type of relationship where you can just confront people when it comes to bills like this?
Yeah, I with that particular bill, I mean, you're right. I was so frustrated. But and I've had a couple of conversations with some of the members that, frankly, it didn't go anywhere. Um,
Mm,
to give you a positive here, I'll tell you a story about a bill that I passed this session, House Bill 355, which increases uh, the penalty or prison time for people in positions of authority who prey on minors, corruption of minor.
sounds
I
great.
had the bill last session inspired by a constituent meeting that I took.
Hmm,
Um, and we did a lot of work. I put it out there, never considered in committee, presumably because I have an R behind my name. At the start of this session, I thought to myself, I want this bill to pass, and I don't care whose name is on it. And if the method to get it passed is to partner with a Democrat who believes in it strongly, then that's what I'll do. So I started shopping the bill, and I came across a representative from Chester County, Chris Pielli, who had a similar instance that happened in his district. And he said, "Yeah, let's do it." And I said,
hmm.
we introduced the identical bill this session, House Bill 355. I was a co-prime, but his name was first. And we both together lobbied for it. We contacted the chair of Judiciary Committee. We contacted him again and again and again. And we got a voting meeting. It passed committee unanimously, passed the House unanimously, and then the Senate unanimously. The governor signed it into law June 5th. So
Yeah.
um, I'd like to think that could happen with the girls' sports issue. I don't know that there's an appetite for that now, but I can tell you it occurs. And we got more justice for victims in Pennsylvania because we were able to work together. So it does happen.
That's
I'd
awesome.
like to see more of it.
Do you think that can happen more? Do you think what's keeping it from it let me try to figure out how to phrase this question. Trump is very divisive to where the left hates him so much. It's like anything the right does, like you just said, it could be the best bill ever. We're going to shoot it down because the Republicans say this is good. Therefore, we're just going to bite. We have to say no to it, even if it's a good thing for the people. Do you think when Trump gets out of office, whoever the next person is, if it's Vance or whoever, do you think it might like people might come together a little bit more because Trump's not involved and the hate for Trump won't be there as much?
I would say that's probable, Dylan. You're right. I mean, I just got an email this morning, um, blaming me for things that are federal. So some people conflate the state for federal. I have no control over federal matters, but yeah, I think it trickles down. Um, it's common, in floor debate for Democrats to associate, what we're doing with Trump, and it's kind of irrelevant at the state level.